Hello everybody, Richard Michael Owen here with a special edition video, and that's because I have received all the new Girling products for my junk E-Type. This includes the 4-piston aluminum calipers for the front brakes and the concourse ready shock absorbers that look just like the originals. I can't wait to fit these. Let's get into it. Let's see what we're working with today. What has SNG Barrett sent us today? Wow, celebrating 60 years of the E-Type. Nice. Check that out. Bathroom reading, maybe? Look at that. Nicely done. Ho-ho, Girling shock absorbers. When have you seen that? Look at that. Look at that box. Wow, I think we got to open one of these up right away. What do you say? Oh, look at that in there. A brand new Girling shock absorber. Look at that. Well, those look smart. Yeah, so there's no secret that SNG Barrett just bought Girling and they're making products like this. This really looks like the classic Boge shock absorber. And I think it's gonna look really good in the E-Type. Thanks, guys. Let's see what else we got. Next up we have a big, whoa, look at this. Girling Caliper set. Goodwood silver. Well, this should be interesting. Another big Girling box. Wow, look at those in there. Look at those beauties in there.
Oh, those are nice, aren't they?
Holy moly. And look, we got the pads in here with a Girling box. Wow, this really takes, this is like, look, it's like opening new old stock, isn't it? Girling pads, and look at these brakes.
Look at the surface area on that. That's like double of regular brake pad for an E-Type.
Yeah, that's quite an impressive pad. So these, oh, that's so light. So 4-pot aluminum calipers. We've put these on XKs and it really transforms the car. So yeah, the E-Type's gonna stomp on a dime with these. Holy, they're just so beautiful. Love the silver, very nicely done. Guess I can keep these in here. Now we got small parts. What else we got here? What's in this box? All right, hey, very nice. We got the lines, flexible lines. So we're gonna do the full job. And what else am I seeing here? Look at that, all the associated hardware to mount these, all new. Whoa, look at those caliper bolts, amazing. Yeah, this is gonna be a lot of fun. Let's get them on the car. It was really nice of SNG Barrett to include all this specialist hardware. So I'm gonna take the time and run through it, show you the numbers. So we have the special washers for the bottom of the shock absorbers. The jam nuts, these are thin nuts for the brake lines. See, I put one on the brake line right there. That's nice, that's the way they were originally with these thin nuts. Shock tower bolts with the hole for the split pin. Got a couple of the slotted nuts here. These are nice, they let the split pin run through them. And I provided bolt numbers that you'll need for those. Got the washers for the bottom of the shock absorbers. And then here we have the brake caliper bolts. So they have two options with SNG Barrett. One is this kind of very nicely machined cadmium plated solution. I think I prefer this. Or if you want to go the extra distance, it looks like what to be a grade 8 with a washer. And the difference between the part number is just the slash. So this is C13547/1, and this is just a vanilla C13547. So you can see this is quite an original setup with the wheel cylinder carrier here and two individual cylinders on either side. These are TRW aftermarket units, and they've worked really well. So to get these off, gonna have to work with these lines, take them off, and then those two big bolts with lock wire running through them. Nicely done. That was my work like 3 years ago. So yeah, we're gonna get these things out of here and we'll compare the new and the old on the bench. All right, there it is. Old calipers are off. It's quite a heavy unit. And then compare it to the new here. It's quite a lot larger, despite being a lot lighter as well. So there's that unsprung weight advantage to these Girling brakes, that's for sure. And I just took apart the kit so you can see everything that comes along with these units. You have the retainer pins and clips. Got the two hard lines that connect to the hoses. Now we're gonna put these on here with the bolts provided. I'm gonna use the old hardware. That's just the way I am. Now one thing we're gonna have to do is modify the splash shields. We'll go on the car and I'll show you what I mean. So what we're finding here is that the caliper is just too big for the splash shield. There's no clearance for the splash shield, so we're gonna have to cut it out, I believe. Not a huge fan of that. I'm an originality guy, but let's cut it off. It's only original once. Nice. Okay, think it'll fit? Those are big brakes.
Wait, that might help.
Wow, look at that on there. Woohoo! That's a lot of brake for an E-Type. Wow. So next up, gonna torque it on. What's the torque rating on that?
60.
60 pounds. Okay, with it torqued down now, we got to measure the center line. So we can see we got about 783 thou, just over 3/4 on one side. And hopefully, and a little larger on the other. Looks like, you know, maybe 20 thou more on the back side. We can improve on that, but it's darn close. If we look at the center line here, it's right on the rotor there. It's only 20 thou to inward. And we can't change that because you can only shim these calipers inward. So we're gonna leave it like that. Straight out of the box, I think it's gonna work. Got lock wire on there. Look at that, calipers fully installed. Got those pins in there. And also the hard line here on the back had to bend up, which went down to the new flex line, which is fantastic. It's too nice looking for this old driver E-Type. Next up are the dampers. So we're gonna start by lowering the car because the tension from the torsion bar is actually being held by this telescopic damper. So you put it on the ground and support it with a jack before we attempt to remove this top nut. Okay, we've got the weight supported on the jack down here. And where can we draw it there? Got original shock, eh?
Look at the shininess there. It's been working a bit loose.
Oh, you think so? With the shininess?
Yeah. See, it
Look at
says
that, Girling. Look at that. Okay, let's compare it to the original on the bench here.
Okay.
There he goes, right here. Look at that. So dimensionally, very, very similar. You can tell the new one from the old at the top here, the way that this one's spot welded on the top. The other one has a welding process on there.
This has it down here though, see? Same.
Yeah, that welding process. Isn't that interesting? Very, very close, isn't it? And I think it's the right hue of gray, some sort of squadron gray that was left over from the war. Awesome.
Side. It's
Slide on their
calculated.
side, yeah.
Put them straight down, just work them up and down and get the air out of them. Before you
Oh,
put
air
them
can
on.
work into them if they're laying sideways, eh?
Yeah, so I sit them upside down and work them a few times in case there's an air bubble in there.
Nobody would ever store them upright.
Feel good, don't they?
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna give you a good ride. Dual action, so it's resisting both up and down.
Yeah.
Some shocks, they only resist one way. Single action. These are dual. Okay.
Oh, it's pretty tight in there. Woohoo! That looks nice in there, doesn't it?
I'm looking for out firm.
Okay, those two in there.
Way better than the old.
So now with the brake system fully installed, gonna have to bleed the hydraulic fluid. I'm at the reservoirs here and I got this handy tester. It'll tell me how much water percentage is in each reservoir. So let's try the first one here. It's looking like 3% water, so that's no good. Anything above 2% water is not ideal. So I gotta suck the coolant out of that reservoir before I start pumping on the brakes. And I'm gonna do the same for these other two as well. But likely they're all gonna be about the same. So it looks like I'm gonna suck this fluid out, put new fluid in, and then we'll start pumping.
You want to do all three?
Yeah. It's kind of black anyways in there, doesn't it?
Okay, maybe. Oh, I'm sure it doesn't look that bad.
Okay, we're pumping. Up, down. Get you over there. Up, down.
Can hold it down next time.
Okay, it's held down. All right, everybody. Fast forward about 2 months, giving those brake pads a lot of time to bed in. And we're gonna go on some of my favorite driving roads here in the countryside. We can see it's late autumn. The pumpkins are ready to be harvested. And the E-Type is looking lovely in this light. What I plan to do is drive to Geoff Chrysler's Rightway Heritage trimming. As a little bonus, we're gonna see the work that he's been doing on the AC Ace. All right, let's take the old daily driver junk E-Type for a drive. So yeah, I have been driving on these brakes for 2 months now, and I love them. Compared to the Series 2 E-Type, it's a step above. So the Series 2 E-Type has 3 piston calipers, and that's a really nice upgrade for these cars. But this, the 4 pistons, they're more than I'll ever need. I haven't really given them the beans until today, so let's see what we got. I just drove down the highway, so the oil pressure is going to be about 20, 30. You see when I accelerate here, it'll probably go up to about 50. Now, I want to make sure that I'm not going to be doing a brake test with anybody on this small B road. So I'm going to wait a little bit. I see a light in the distance, and then we'll give it the beans.
Subaru. I have the Tourist Trophy exhaust on here, so it's going to be a little louder than stock. Look at the brakes. Oh, that's amazing. Oh my God. Yeah, that's awesome. That's some real braking performance. More than I'll ever need. Probably if I went a little harder there, I could have locked them up, but that'd be dangerous on such a small road. But yeah, I'm super impressed. Thank you so much, Girling and SNG Barrett. That's an amazing performing brake system. All right, let's go to see what Geoff's up to and go see that AC Ace. See if this is... Okay, made it to Geoff's. Rightway Heritage trimming. Really anxious to see what the Ace looks like. I've seen it in photos, but let's see what it looks like in person here. Here we are going into his shop. Of course, his Healy 104 sitting here that he's expertly restored. And there it is, the Ace. Wow. I just love being around this car. Everybody, this is Geoff.
How's it going, everybody?
And he has done some amazing work on this interior. I've seen it in photos, but wow, look at this. I love that tunnel carpet, man. Good work. That's beautiful. It's hard to believe this is a race car in disguise with how nice the interior looks, man. So a lot of, is that wool? Is that a
Yeah, it's actually the German velour carpet that I've used there. The original stuff in these was a really thin, coarse hair, really short, really thin type of stuff. Almost like moquette, like Jags use. It was a really thin, paper thin carpet, and so I went with a pretty thin, short weave.
Good idea. It looks wonderful. Now, you had a lot of the original upholstery from this car to make patterns from, right?
I got really lucky. He had it all carefully removed in boxes, original seats, everything was original, so I was able to just carefully dissect things and make patterns from the original. So really lucky when that happens.
So you can make another set if somebody wants.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
I have all the patterns, so.
Now, I brought some interesting little brackets here that I think go into the top of the windshield frame here. Let's see what those look like.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, amazing work, man. I love it. Just seeing how well the interior's done. And you go and you see this incredible aircraft engine in here. And then you just look at the whole thing as a whole, the car, the stance, the shapes. Both these cars, well done, man. What a high point in your career there. Awesome. So here's the brackets in question. And let's see if they should slide right into that.
Oh, you know what?
Into this relief here.
So the original header rail for this, it's two pieces of C channeling that wrap around, and they just kind of squish over top of the windscreen frame, and there's little clips on either side.
Yeah.
But those two pieces of channel, they're separated by about 3 inches in the middle here, and it's just a strap of leather that's riveted to them, so that when you take it off, you can fold the header rail in half and store it in the trunk.
Yeah.
So these probably fit in that separation, I'm assuming.
When I first saw this, when we put this windshield together, I always assumed this piece of rubber that went in here. And then later on, I found these. And look at that. So that's going to slide in there. And that's going to have something to do with the header rail. Looks like it was meant to be, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe one goes the other way.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Looks like they've been used quite a bit.
Yeah.
Well, another piece of the puzzle. So you are going to make a new soft top from this based on the original, right?
No, upstairs, yep. Yeah, I can show you what
Can we have a look at that?
Sure.
Oh, let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay, look at that.
These are the header rail pieces, those pieces of C-channel, and it just had this leather piece riveted to it with a gap like that.
Yeah.
So those little pieces must keep this at a certain...
There's something else in there, isn't there? I wonder how,
Well, it was two rivets either side.
I see, so it just will help space it maybe.
Yeah, it's like that. Yeah.
Interesting.
So I think, they must help space it or something. really crude thin seal.
And this is the rear window aperture you're
Yep.
measuring out
Yeah,
and
yeah,
making
all my
patterns. So exactly as it was from the factory. Wow,
Yeah.
look at that piece.
Yeah, that's the rear window piece I've cut. So
Wonderful.
yeah, it's a really neat top. It had like these are the side pieces that go over the windows.
Oh, no way,
Side
look at
windows,
that.
and they have fur flex on.
Fur flex on the soft top.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
And it goes all the way around the rear deck, so it cushions it against the body where it snaps down.
This is a nice table setup you've made. You got all the fabric below here. Really romantic.
Oh yeah,
It's awesome. Look at all the patterns you have.
yeah.
Holy.
Here's the main pattern.
Wow, look at that. AC Ace pattern for soft top. Wonderful work,
Original
man.
stuff.
I love seeing this kind of thing.
Here's his original tonneau cover. And then the top is all here. I had to take it apart to make patterns. But,
Yeah.
there's that window piece. You can see it was originally red and somebody dyed it black.
So this is a vinyl with a bit of a texture to
It's
it,
got
eh?
this interesting texture, yeah. Really unique. I've never seen that
Yeah.
in any other car, but all of the weather equipment, including the side screens, were done in this.
So it looks like it was red and somebody dyed it black, maybe?
Yeah, yeah. At some point. Tonneau's still red though. So yeah, these are all the pieces. Here's all the old fur flex that was
Oh,
around
look
the
at
edges
that.
of the
Yeah.
windows.
Awesome. It's going to be a beauty, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Not long now.
No, just got into sewing it today, so.
Okay, I really want to have a look at what Geoff's been doing in the trunk here. And it's really nice. Looks like some carpet here and some mixed materials, some vinyl, right?
Yep, vinyl on the riser and then carpet on the top again for the shelf.
Now, one thing I think that's really cool about this is this original side screen bag that Geoff showed me. And he pointed out that it actually has these little loops, so it can hold in the frame of the car. There's some oval tube frame that this will mount to. And then here's one of the original sliding plexi side screens for an Ace, which must be a pretty rare item.
I've never seen anything like it. Yeah, really neat.
And it has same looking material here, this
Yeah.
vinyl.
Yeah.
And then one thing that I'm really curious about is we have these body receivers. I call them receivers. I don't even know what they are. But these go on the body, and that's what these should slide
yeah.
into. And I just had 6 of these remade by Randy at Electroshine. God bless the guys at Electroshine. I want to see if
We
they're
made
going
them
to
from
work.
scratch, eh?
So look how beautiful those are. Now we had to have them remade because when they took them apart, they really messed them up and ovaled most of them. So hopefully today we can get these on the body. Oh, look at that. I think it's gonna work. So we have 6 of these. Show you where they go in the door. Hopefully we can epoxy these into the car. Hopefully they're dimensionally, okay, yeah, we're gonna have to fight. It's not just gonna be a drop-in. Yeah, so that's gonna be a bit of work. I don't know if we'll do that on camera, but those definitely have to go in. Definitely a fight with when you're doing the finishing build on these things. So yeah, if you want to keep progress on this car, check out Geoff Chrysler's amazing YouTube channel. And it's rightwayheritagetrimming.com.
That's right. Yep. My YouTube channel is just Geoff Chrysler.
Geoff Chrysler?
Enthusiast. Yeah.
Okay. And I'll definitely put a link in the video description. But yeah, thanks for spending the time showing us your amazing work. I am really impressed.
Yeah, thanks.
Awesome. All right. Well, that does it for this video. I want to give a huge thank you to the SNG Barrett group. They own the Girling brand and they provided the parts that I fit on my car. And I'm really excited to see what SNG Barrett does with Girling in the future. Now, no matter where you are in the world, SNG Barrett has us covered. They have headquarters in the USA, the UK, France, Germany, and the Netherlands. It's pretty awesome. So I'm just going to go and search Girling here on their website. We can see they have free USA coast-to-coast delivery, which is pretty nice. Now, since they own the brand, they've gone all out. You can get coveralls, shirts, beanies, cups that are Girling. But what's really nice about this website is you can refine the search for a particular vehicle. So in my case, I can go Series 1 4.2 fixed head coupe, and it clearly shows me all the products, all the Girling products for my car. It's a real no-brainer. I can just add these components right here from this website. So here it is down the bottom right-hand corner, the front brake caliper conversion kit, aluminum 4-pot for $1,200 US. So here I can just add it. And I should also mention up here in the top right is a upgraded version that runs vented discs. Probably if I was on the racetrack or I was going to do a lot of repeated heavy braking, I think the vented rotors are the way to go. All right, well, thank you so much again to SNG Barrett and Frank Vieira and SNG Barrett USA. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you later. Bye-bye.